By now, we all know that recording an encounter with the police is important for your own safety. So today we're discussing cases where police officers forgot they were being filmed and went too far with their misconduct. Let's see how these corrupt cops behaved when they were exposed on camera. Let's go to the videos. A group of cops came up to a man who was recording them in front of the police station. The man was just standing on public property, doing nothing wrong, and had every right to film what was happening. But the cops acted like he wasn't allowed to be there at all. The man, not wanting to just let it go, challenged one of the cops, asking him to prove that he couldn't record there. Caught in his mistake, the first cop then claimed that the police station was private property. That didn't make sense though. If it was private, how come anyone can walk into the station to file a complaint against a cop? The other cops seemed just as confused about their own rules, or maybe they knew but were annoyed that someone was challenging them. So they tried to back up their buddy by sticking to the story that the station was off limits as private property.
Now watch this. Can I unstrap my gun and touch it?
No.
I can't? So why is he doing it then?
Because if you do that, we're going to start considering this as a threat.
So that's not a threat to me?
No, sir.
I haven't broken the law.
Okay? He's ran outside of caution.
But that's not a threat to me.
As police officers, we ran outside of caution.
Y'all work for me, and that's not a threat to me?
We don't work for you.
Yes, you do. You work for the public.
No,
You're a public servant.
Police department.
Which is a public servant. You're a public servant. Tax dollars pay you.
Here's the deal.
No, there's no deal. This
We are
is
not
public
going to
property. I'm
we are
done
not
talking
going
to
to
you.
move forward.
This is public. Show me an affidavit with my name
I
on
don't
it
need
saying,
to have an
well, then
affidavit.
I'm done talking to you. I'm done talking to you. This is public property. You can't
Yeah,
make
your
me
attorney
leave
still
here.
going?
Yeah, I do.
Talk to your attorney.
Why? Why?
You said you
I just want you to make the wrong move so you can lose your job and lose this lawsuit.
That's what I thought.
Make the wrong move, please.
That's what
Make
I
the wrong
figured.
move.
You're just
make the wrong move.
goading us into some altercation.
I didn't
which
come
we're
to
not
you.
gonna do.
I didn't come to you. You came to me.
That's right, because you're an armed individual on the property of the Charlotte Police Department.
Is open carry legal in North Carolina?
It is.
So what's the problem?
Until you're not allowed to be carrying on certain
Can you prove I'm not allowed?
Yeah.
How?
Because this is the property of the Charlotte Police Department.
But is it public? That's all I want to know. Is it public?
No. This is the city of Charlotte.
This is not open to the public at all. Nowhere on here is open to the public.
I'm not going to keep engaging you in this conversation.
I just want to answer my question.
Huh?
Is this open to the public right here? If somebody has to come in there and file a complaint or get public records, tell me where they park it.
They're allowed to park here until they're asked to leave.
They allowed to park here, correct? Is there a meter saying that you have to be here X amount of time?
Until they're asked to leave.
Until they're asked to leave.
They are allowed to be here.
You have no authority over public property unless I've been trespassed.
May I clarify something?
Yes, sir, please.
So this is City of Charlotte property, right?
City property is public property.
And we are agents of which city?
Is this public or private? Nobody can answer that. I know this is city property, but is it public or
We are
private?
agents of city property.
Can you
so
answer
it
this
is
question?
public, but you can still be banned from this property because we're agents of this property.
So
And
being
this is
banned
considered
and
a
being
public-
asked to leave are two different things.
So this, we don't want to ban you, but you can leave, or we can ban you.
You're
And
right.
then
I
if you
can
refuse to
leave. Can is an option. You're right. I
If
can
you
leave.
refuse to leave, you will be placed under arrest. So this is a public vehicle area, correct? It's for parking.
Those
right?
are vehicle codes. Those sidewalks there aren't made for cars to drive on. Correct?
This is a parking lot. Would you not consider this?
Yeah, this is a parking lot,
Right.
but you said it's for vehicles.
City of Charlotte has an ordinance that states if you don't have a vehicle.
You can take your hand off your gun, brother. I'm not going to touch mine, okay? I know you want to shoot me. It's okay. I'm not going to touch mine. Hey, so then why are you standing here? Your hand's nowhere near your gun. He's standing here. His hand's nowhere near his gun. And then you look at this coward here, and his hand is on his gun. Why is his hand on his gun? Why is his hand on his gun?
When the man asked who owned the property, another cop said it was city property. Well, that was the perfect moment for him to learn that city property is legally public property. Then a third cop who seemed pretty full of himself jumped in. He insisted that they had the right to ask the man to leave the station's property. Of course, that wasn't true at all. This cop even started throwing around the word trespassing as if he could actually use it in this situation. I mean, you can't be trespassing on public property by definition. He even threatened to arrest the man if he didn't leave right then. Facing the possibility of getting arrested, the man felt he had no choice but to walk away. What would you do if you found yourself in his shoes? Would you stand your ground and keep recording? Or would you leave to avoid further trouble?
You asked me why is he a coward? Why is his hand on his gun?
Sometimes
I don't want to hear this sometimes shit, okay?
Sometimes officers just
I'm dealing
have
with
their
right
hand-
now.
they just do that
There's no
for the rest of the
sometimes.
thing.
I don't want to hear sometimes.
If you can take his hand off the gun.
Thank you. Please do what your supervisor actually do, please. Please do what your supervisor
I
actually
didn't ask
do.
him to do that. I said he could.
Oh, he could. So now it's about can and can't.
No, I
So
said-
can I touch my gun?
No.
I can't touch mine, right? So why you got his hand on his?
Would a reasonable person come to the police station and just walk around in the parking lot with a
Is
firearm?
this about reason or is it about law? That's what I want to know.
This is
It's
still-
about
this is
law.
city
Reason isn't above law.
Well, this
Okay.
is city property. If we ask
But
you
it's
to leave,
but
you've
it's
got
public.
to leave.
It's public. You can't ask public people to leave something.
Yes, we can.
No, how? How? Please tell me how. Please
Because
just
we're
answer that
agents
question.
of this city, and this is city property.
But who do you work for?
We can make
city.
you leave city property.
You can't make. You can ask me to leave.
We can't make you.
You
I
can
can ask you. If you refuse, then you're currently trespassing, which is against the
I
law,
need see.
and you
That's
will
not how
be made.
trespassing goes like this. You ask me to leave. You sign an affidavit saying I've been trespassed. I
think
don't
you're
come back.
mistaken. I would love to school you more on that.
No.
But you're currently mistaken. I would love to.
So, am I trespassing right now?
Have you been asked, has the lieutenant asked you to leave?
He can ask me to do a million things. I'm on public property. But if you're
Has
threatening
he-
arrest
has
with
he
physical
asked-
violence, I will
has
leave
he
this
asked?
place.
Nobody's saying
Are
anything
you
physical.
We don't
I
want
said
to.
Are you threatening me with arrest if I don't leave public property? That's a yes or no question.
the arrest is the last thing we want to do.
So-
Arrest, what we want to see is for you to exit the property peacefully.
You see how you're trying peacefully, peacefully. So who can make this non-peacefully? Me or you?
You.
Me. Oh, I can make this non-peacefully. Is your body cam rolling?
It is.
It is. Okay,
It's
come
been
before you request that right there because this is
The
ridiculous.
lieutenant's been reasonable. You're
So-
on city property and you've been asked to leave.
But,
It's just
but it's city property. That's like me walking in sidewalk and y'all pull up and say, hey, you know what? I don't like you right here. I want you going inside. I don't have to do that.
Absolutely.
How? It's public.
You're in a public vehicle, and the city ordinances that restrict you from being in a
Public vehicle. You're giving me vehicle codes. I'm not in a parking spot. I'm on. This right here is made for people to walk on.
This is a parking lot.
Do cars park right here?
You're in a parking lot.
Do cars park right here in this area? Do cars park here?
So you're currently on city property.
Which is public. You just stated that. You keep saying city. It's public.
Sir, I'm asking you nicely, would you leave the property? If you do not leave the property right now, you will be subject to arrest.
I will leave the property only because you threatened to arrest me for being on
will.
public. Okay.
No, that's
I'm
not
leaving.
a threat.
All right, I'm
If
leaving.
You do
I'm
not leave,
leaving.
I will arrest you. That's
I'm
a
leaving.
promise.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you,
leaving.
sir.
That's a threat,
Thank
but I'm
you.
leaving. All right, I'm leaving. But I will be standing right here, okay?
When two rookie cops noticed a man filming near the police station, they walked over to see if he needed any help. But really, he was fine on his own. If you thought cops were just there to be friendly, guess again. Cops often have a reason for everything they do, and it wasn't long before these two started peppering the man with questions. It was crystal clear they wanted more than to just check if he was okay. Why did they act like filming the police station was some kind of crime? That's a question worth asking. When one of the cops asked the man for his name, he simply responded, "Call me human." You can imagine how that poked at the cops' egos.
Uniforms.
You know something wrong with the building?
Hello.
You know something wrong with the building?
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
Sorry?
Is it me you're looking for?
No, I'm not looking for anyone.
Okay.
I just noticed you building the building. Just wondering if there's something wrong with it, or maybe just see if anything's caught you out in the building. So that's why you're filming. No, nothing at all. Is there anything I can help you with?
No, I'm good.
Usually, the police station, if it needs some sort of help, if they need anything reporting, or anything like that. Is there anything at all we can help you with?
I'm fine. I'm okay. I feel fine. Plus, it's got nothing to do with you.
No, that's fine. Just want to make sure there's nothing to help with. There's nothing wrong with the building that you guys are trying to point out to us. Nothing at all.
Yeah. You're now the witnesses of change, and to counteract, we've got to take the power back.
What do you mean? I'm not. I don't quite catch your meaning. Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
If you don't like it, get on your bike.
No, it's not I don't like it. I don't know what you mean. So,
Just ask what you mean, sir.
It's something about change. I don't know what you mean. So, what change are you trying to make?
Well,
Sorry?
they said you all think you know me, but you haven't got a clue.
No, I've no idea who you are. I've never seen you in my life. I don't know.
It's first time we've met, isn't it?
Pardon?
It's first time we've met, isn't it?
Wow. Hello, my name is Human.
Okay. Nice to meet you. That's fine.
That's why I'm not you. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything you need. Try and figure out what's going on.
Well, can't find one good reason to stay here, so stop whining.
Sorry?
Can't find one good reason to stay here, so stop whining.
I don't. What do you mean you can't find one good reason?
We're not just having a conversation with it.
This is
If you don't understand, don't even bother to ask.
that's the whole reason of asking. The whole reason to ask questions is to find out why.
Process of getting more information, isn't it?
the point of asking questions.
If there's questions to find out more.
Because if you're trying to convey a message, how am I supposed to hear that message if I don't ask?
Well, I don't know you, and no, I don't owe you a motherfucking thing.
I didn't say you owe me anything.
You put a lot of words.
They acted like the man owed them an explanation, even though he really didn't owe them jack shit. The other cop tried a different tactic, asking what the man was filming and ironically offering to help. The man wasn't having any of it. All he wanted was for them to either leave him alone or at least stop bugging him while he worked. But these piggies with bruised egos sure can be persistent. They kept pushing him to explain his filming, as if his reasons would make any difference. After all, wanting to film in public is reason enough.
Now that we're not safe. Like, we're just asking to understand what exactly it is you are saying.
Well, crackpot quacks with cracked up egos.
Is that what you're calling us?
Again, I don't know what you mean. You're saying words, but I don't know what you mean. And I'm trying to ask you what you mean, what message you're trying to convey. But you're not telling me what message you're trying to give across. Because how are we meant to make change if we don't know what you're trying to tell us?
And if that is the reason for being here now, well, yeah, why not just tell us what it is you're trying to do?
Maybe we can help you if tell us what change you're trying to make.
Knowing me, knowing you, there's nothing you can do.
I don't know. I don't know. Is there anything else we can help you with?
Leave in silence.
Leave in silence. So that's what you like to do.
Can I ask, is there any reason for recording the buildings up?
Yeah, just go around that.
Can I ask again, any reason for recording the building at all? You don't want to give me answers, or you don't have to, obviously. Thought I'd ask, as you're here. I thought you'd maybe trying to get our attention.
I'm bad.
Are you? Are you telling me that, or what do you mean by bad? Sorry, as I said before, so I'm not making any sense of anything you're saying, so...
I started a joke.
Okay, fair enough. There's nothing else we can help you with before we go back in. Do you want my shoulder number?
Yeah, might as well.
Nothing else? What's that? You trying to get the camera, or...?
Yeah, my name's Zephyr. Yes.
When the man turned the tables and asked the cops for their names and badge numbers, they clammed up because he hadn't given them his own name. They decided to be petty and withhold their info, even though legally they're supposed to share it as part of their job rules. The man, on the other hand, was protected by law not to reveal his identity unless he chose to. And the cherry on top, one of the cops even dropped a mention of terrorist attacks into the conversation, which was a bit much considering the man was only filming. That's a heavy accusation to throw around, especially at someone who's simply exercising his right to record in public. What do you think about that situation? It's a bit ridiculous when you're just trying to do something perfectly legal, right?
You can do what you're meant to do in your policies.
What's that?
Notify members of the public when you start recording them. Neither of you did that.
If we're in public, you don't have to notify people.
Well, I don't, because I'm not an organisation. You, while you're in your uniform, you're wearing body cameras, you're recording on behalf of your organisation. You become a data controller when you turn those on. As a data controller, you need to notify data subjects, i.e. at the moment, me, that you're recording. Same way that you have to have CCTV notices on your premises, you have to notify members of the public verbally when you start recording them.
Yeah, what?
That's in your policies. Yes. So
the whole way down.
Well, you should have notified that me at the first available opportunity.
Right, okay. Apologies I didn't. But it is recorded.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you have any comment to make on why Chadwell Heath keep using Section 43 of the Terrorism Act to detain and search people with cameras?
I don't know. No? I haven't searched you.
No, you haven't. That's why I'm asking why,
No,
if you have any comment to make on why Chadwell Heath keep doing it.
I don't know.
No?
No.
Do you have anybody here that would be able to comment on that?
I don't know. I'd have to ask, but I don't believe so.
If you have a sergeant here, or do you have an inspector on site here?
There's an inspection site.
Yeah, you can get an inspector. I'd love to talk to an inspector.
You're not asking that.
Yeah.
We can ask, but of course I believe there's more easier channels to talk to an inspector. I believe there's emails and ways through the website to be able to voice your concerns and get a response that way.
Yeah, see, when you try that, you get flogged off with responses to go through the privacy, the complaint forms online, and then you wait 6 months for a reply, and then they turn around and the reply is, actually, we don't want to give you an answer. Basically, we have no comment. So why waste 6 months of my time going through all that when I can come and ask?
They might not have the time to come around and talk to everybody that asks. So they are, of course, they're doing their job. They have little time to do their job.
Well,
That's what inquiries are in place.
well, exactly. That's what I just said. That's why we always get sent, and we get absolute jack from them. Yeah, we get shit from them. What's the point?
Unfortunately, I can't talk you through that complaints process.
Okay.
I mean, I can listen to what you say, I can raise it, I can relay it back, but I can't.
Well, for the time being, I'm just going to be around and filming what I can see. So that was actually quite a bit harder than I thought it would be, like replying with just one-liners and that. It's hard to know what the narrative.
In a poor effort to prove his point, this cop decided to walk the man all the way to the gate in front of the police station. He wanted to show him a sign that read, "Employees Only," as if that settled everything. But here's the catch. The man wasn't even close to the gate in the first place. Why make him walk for 5 whole minutes just to point out that he couldn't be somewhere he wasn't even trying to go? It seemed like the cop was either desperate to be right or just really bad at understanding signs. Right where they were standing, the man was perfectly allowed to be. The sign clearly stated that the restriction was only past the gate, not before it. Either way, the cop was stretching things too far.
There's a slight difference between you just filming the building and you film from the gate where people come in and out.
Well, what's the difference?
The difference is that you've got people who are finishing work coming in and out.
Sure.
Where, not everyone just, likes to place equally. Some people, want to cause harm. Now you see people's private plates coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It does put some officers at risk.
What information can you get from a number plate?
Well, what people see out and about is number plate.
Well, yeah, but I mean, whether I'm recording it or not, if somebody wanted to get personal number plates from a police officer from this particular station, they could easily stand across the road without a camera, looking all innocent.
If they live locally.
Yeah, if they live locally, yeah, and then they could. But then, if somebody lives far enough afield that they want to hurt somebody in particular from this station, they would travel here to get it anyway. You know what I mean? So they could get that number plate and then do whatever they wanted with it anyway.
Well, it's possible they can, but you recording it for them doesn't make it a lot easier.
I'm not recording it for them.
Well, are you recording?
Pardon?
Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're recording. Are you posting it anywhere?
I haven't decided yet. Depends.
Well, if you do,
yeah.
If you do, it makes it a lot easier. It might make people want to actually change your mind. All the recognize when you post.
See, if I was travelling somewhere and I didn't want my vehicle registration noticed by somebody, then I wouldn't park where I didn't want it noticed, or I wouldn't drive there. Full stop. I would get. I mean, we're in London. It's public transport.
You've got to understand this is people's place of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you work? I don't know if you work or.
Yeah, job. Yeah.
Your job. Yeah. So I understand. You got to understand if you're driving to and from work, you want to be able to drive to and from work. I don't know if you do. Maybe you don't. I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, if I did, and I had particular concerns about my safety of my number plate because of where I worked, then I probably wouldn't drive to work.
But isn't the ideal situation that you don't have to worry about that?
Well, not really.
Why not?
Well, okay, yeah, in an ideal world, yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
You don't have to worry about that.
But
because at the moment you're causing that ideal world.
Don't say I'm causing anything. I'm not causing anything.
I mean, you are right now. I mean, recording or not, and maybe or maybe not posting people's potential, personal vehicles.
Mm-hmm. But again, I drive past with a dash cam up and down the road all day if I want to get those number plates.
Yeah, but you're driving up and down the road.
No, I'm saying I could drive up and down this road.
The man had to explain to the cop that filming in public is his constitutional right, protected under the First Amendment. You'd think a cop, especially one not that fresh on the force, would remember this stuff since they all swore to uphold these rights when they started their careers. Realizing he was on shaky ground, the cop switched it up. He tried to make it personal by asking the man how he'd feel if someone filmed him coming and going from work. Again, this missed the point. Being uncomfortable with being filmed doesn't mean you get to trample on other people's rights, especially not in public where filming is totally legal.
You could,
and
you
get
can't-
a number plate. I could stand across the road with a piece of pen and paper and write it all down and disseminate it online.
You could.
Just 'cause I've got a camera, it doesn't make it any different.
No, no, what I mean,
you know.
well, the fact you put a camera on isn't what I'm.
See? Nice little friendly wave. Nice.
Yeah, that's fine.
Paranoia, that's all it is. Paranoid androids.
Lovely. So, you agreed with the concern. In an ideal world,
You wouldn't have to be worried about you.
At the end of the day, I don't see it as a concern. I mean, how many vehicles do you think there are in London, in and around? Yeah.
Well,
You know, what do you think the odds are of somebody scrutinising my video to find a number plate, to then hunt around London and drive around all day looking for said number plate, or even remembering that number plate amongst the dozens, hundreds of thousands that they see every day driving around? What are the odds of that? I mean, let's be realistic about the level of this threat that you're saying, because this is something that we come across quite often. You know, it's a rhetoric that is used quite often, and at the end of the day, it's absolute bullshit.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's
the way you word it, though, is not by chance.
I mean,
you're putting a video up saying, "Oh, I've got a load of no place on resources."
Because it does happen. You know, low chance or not, it does happen.
okay.
No, 'cause you can't
I
really
can't
call
be.
something
But I'm
just
not
as much
responsible for the actions of other people. Like at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, they go on Google Street View. They can see, like I say, Google what I'm doing right up here. Something you turn around. Camera's probably got everything that I can see from here. Number plates aren't private. You know, they're not private information. They're out in public.
I'm not saying they aren't.
Well, so there's nothing to be concerned about, is there?
That's what I'm saying. I personally think it is.
Well, then we're at disagreement, and I think it's a very subjective matter, and I don't think we're going to come to an accordance on it. It's simple as that.
So you see no issue at all. You see no issue at all with filming, you know, people coming out of their workplace.
Not particularly. Not out of the police station particularly, no.
Why is there a difference if it's out of the police station or not?
Because you're open to scrutiny. You're a public body with a sense of authority in certain situations. I think you're open to public scrutiny at every level, and I think that's the way it should be.
When we go out and be in the uniform, we put ourselves out there to be in scrutiny. That's the whole idea. Of course, play at people's private use cars.
Again, yeah, in an ideal world, people shouldn't be concerned about it. I'm not concerned.
As a public servant, a cop should expect to be on camera every now and then. It's part of the job. But this cop didn't stop there. He then claimed that the man's filming was a threat to his safety. How could a man with a camera pose a threat to an armed cop, surrounded by other armed cops? It didn't make any sense. Despite the cop's efforts, he only ended up looking worse, especially when the whole exchange was caught on camera. Now, anyone who sees this video will know just how unreasonable the cop was. And it's a tough break, but it just shows that trying to bend the rules to control a situation can backfire spectacularly. What do you think? Was the man right to keep filming, or should he have just walked away to avoid the hassle?
Personally, I would drive around anywhere and I wouldn't be bothered. But if somebody is that concerned, it makes me wonder what they've done to be so concerned in the first place. Because yes, I know what you're saying, not everybody likes the police in equal amounts, but there's a reason for that.
Because it's not that I think you're going to do anything malicious.
No.
No, it's not that I think you're going to do.
Yeah, and potentially people could, but there are numerous ways that people could get that information if they really wanted to. My video is one of thousands of ways, you know.
It does add to that number. You can't disagree that it does add to that number of ways that people can.
But then, if you really have that much concern, it makes me wonder what you've done in your duty to be that concerned about your safety. In my opinion, it is.
As you said, a lot of people don't like police and there's different amounts. Sometimes that disconnect isn't founded by something that...
If it's against a specific person and they're specifically looking for a specific number plate, I would say it's something that particular person has done. Well, but then that's a risk that you're taking on the job that you take. You know full well, yes, you're up to scrutiny when you're in your uniform, but you also know that this job has an impact on your personal life, and that's something that you sign up to when you take the job, and you can't disagree with that because you know taking this job. I mean, you both look quite young, so I'd say you're both fairly fresh in the force, right? You know when you take this job, the police aren't liked in equal amounts. Some people don't like the police, so you need to know. You must understand when you take on this job that your personal life is going to be affected. And you may not be safe at all times, outside of your uniform, outside of your station. And that's the long and short of being a police officer at the end of the day. It's something that you take up when you take on the responsibility.
So are you saying that it's something we should just let happen?
I'm not saying it's something you should let happen, but again, I've got no problem with you coming and asking me what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You haven't tried to stop me from what I'm doing, which is the main thing. I'm happy with that. Obviously, at the end of the day, there is nothing you can do to stop me. You know. Exactly, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that you know that. You know, because
Imagine you're chilling at home and suddenly in the dead of night you hear a loud knock on your door. And it's the cops. And they're here because they think there's loud music blasting from your place. Sounds intense, right? Nobody would want to deal with that kind of disruption, especially not in the middle of the night. This guy had just such an unlucky night. Some cops showed up without a warrant and claimed they heard loud music. Now, even if there was music, a simple warning would have been enough. They could have just told him to keep it down and left, but no, they decided to stick around and argue with him because he didn't want to step outside his apartment. Why would anyone want to go outside and stand around with a bunch of dodo cops when they haven't done anything wrong? The guy, feeling a bit cornered, asked one of the cops at the door for his name and badge number. The cop only gave his name. It seems like some cops don't get why it's important to fully identify themselves. They're supposed to do that to make sure people know they're dealing with actual cops, and not some imposters trying to pull a fast one. The conversation then swung back to the loud music by a female cop who was with them. Again, playing loud music isn't a crime that justifies cops wanting to barge into someone's home. Besides, by this point, the music was off. There was literally no sound coming from his place, so you'd think that would be enough reason for the cops to just pack it all up and leave, right? Their job was done. But they didn't leave. They stayed, arguing and digging themselves deeper into a hole. They just didn't know when to stop.
Police got called on my house for some music. I don't understand what's going on. What happened? No, I don't want to talk right now. Did I commit a crime or anything of that nature? Did I do something wrong? Or what did I do, officers? Loud music. It's not that loud. I don't have a system or anything of that nature. What's your name, sir? And what's your badge number? Okay, I don't understand. Okay, well, it's no music now. There's nothing going on. Everyone's too loud. Oh, everything is okay here, but I turned it off. Well, I'm turning it down. I'm turning it off. I'm going to bed. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Huh? Name. Did I commit a crime or anything of that nature? There's nobody harmed in the house, as you can see. Nobody's harmed in the house. So why do I have to give you my name? I didn't commit no crime or anything of that nature. Noise ordering. That's a complaint. That's not a crime. That's not a crime. That's a complaint. That's not a crime, officer. That's not a crime, officer. That's not a crime. That is not a crime at all, officer. If they only way they come in here is if they have the warrant. If they kick open the door, they violated my Fourth Amendment right. Okay, that is a federal offense. Y'all seen that already, right? Everybody seen that. You see that Facebook? You see that YouTube? Everybody see that. Okay. Is there anything else that's going on? Well, they don't handle music now, so I don't understand what's going on. Okay, the music, that's not a crime. Okay, yeah, he's flashing like that. I like that cop. You know his rights too. I like him. Good guy. That's a good guy. And he's cool. I like that one too. My name? I haven't committed a crime. I haven't violated or did anything wrong to anybody or anything. So I don't have to give you my name, officer. That was passed back in 1998. The Crackers Law against Solomon. No.
One of the cops asked the man to show his ID, but he stood his ground and refused. This refusal seemed to set the cops off, and they started throwing a lot of questions at him. The man was firm, though, repeating that he wasn't going to answer any questions. You don't need to be a legal expert to see that he was just asserting his civil rights, making it clear he wasn't about to let those rights be trampled, especially since he hadn't broken any law. Despite his clear stance, the cops pushed further, asking for his date of birth. It makes you wonder if these cops understood that continuing to infringe on this man's constitutional rights could lead to serious consequences for them, like losing their qualified immunity or even their jobs. But at that moment, it seemed like they didn't care. They were more focused on being right than doing their job properly. Really, these cops might want to consider a different line of work because being a cop is supposed to be about helping citizens, not making them feel threatened. And yet here they were, doing just the opposite. And despite the tension, they still refused to identify themselves, which only made things sketchier. Imagine how the man felt standing at his door with at least 5 supposed cops in front of his house, not even sure if they were legit because they wouldn't show any ID. That's a scary scenario for anyone. Citizens definitely don't want cops who behave like this. We expect cops to be protectors, to make us feel safe, not to bring fear and doubt to our doorsteps. All this over a noise complaint that didn't even hold up since there was no loud music to begin with.
Huh? I don't answer no questions, officer. Are we done here? Because I've got some hotties to get into right now. I'm sorry, music, if it was too loud, but I'm trying to get into something. Now you gotta put your phone out, man. The light don't work, you gotta put a phone out, man. I didn't hear what he said, but it's okay. Okay. Hey, you okay? Relax.
You're making me nervous.
You're not nervous. We didn't commit.
Oh
shit, you do got your pants on. I'm sorry. Listen, sir, I gotta put this because she don't got no clothes on. I'm sorry. She don't. I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
He's looking at my stomach.
Huh? Go in another room. For what reason? Because we're done here. I didn't do nothing wrong or anything. Huh? My name and date of birth. I believe I do not have to provide that to you. Hold on, let me take this off the charger. See my hand right here, my other hand right here. Take it off the charger. I do not have to give that to you if I haven't committed a crime. Any violent offense or anything of that nature, sir. I'm sorry. He got his light on, he don't want his face to be shown, because they know that's wrong. Fourth Amendment right, about to get violated. You see that? Look. Fourth Amendment right, about to get violated. As you see, look at the house, As y'all see, nothing going on.
We're not doing anything that's illegal. I'm about to go live.
Look at me. Go live. You go live too, yeah, go live too. Look at me. Just got off of work. See? Cops come to my house bothering me. I have the music up too loud. It's not even a system. I don't understand what's going on. But we're going to get back to these officers.
You say go live?
Yeah, go live. I'm live. We all live. Sir, what's your badge number, sir? And your name? What's your badge number and your name? Sir? Excuse me, sir. Sir. You have a good night too, officer. Okay. I'll take that with the Supreme Court too in the morning. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
At first glance, you might think this cop is top-notch, the kind you'd want in your neighborhood. But don't be so quick to judge. A man asked him for his name and badge number, and the cop answered easily, knowing it was part of his job requirements. Then the man threw a tougher question his way. Why do most cops get annoyed when asked to identify themselves, while they're quick to threaten citizens with jail if they don't reveal their identities? This cop tried to come off as one of the good guys, claiming he had no clue why his colleagues would be bothered by such a request. But trust me, it didn't take long for his true colors to show. The man pushed further, asking if he'd really never witnessed other cops react badly in similar situations. The cop got defensive, which was odd. He insisted he'd never seen such behavior in his career. Really? Who knows, maybe he was just trying to play it cool because he noticed the man was filming. Next, the man asked how he felt about filming cops in public. The cop acted as if he'd never even heard of a First Amendment auditor. That's someone who films public officials to see if they respect people's rights. This cop either pretended to be clueless or he's been incredibly out of touch. I'd be betting on the former. The conversation revealed a lot about the cop's stance on transparency and public accountability. His initial openness was just a facade. As they talked more, it became clear that he was not as straightforward or as enlightened about public rights as he first seemed.
What happened? They went over there to say, how do we want to violate this man's, how do you want us to violate this man's rights?
So that's the person that called, so we want to go to them. The reason why we usually will go to them first is going, what is going on? We need to know, why are you calling us here other than what they've provided to dispatch, okay? And sometimes we even want to confirm what they're saying to dispatch is still what's going on. So that's why a lot of times we will go to the RP or the reporting party first, contact them, find out what is going on, and then figure it out from there. Now, if it's going over and going, okay, if it's you, for an example, hey, what's going on? I'm being told this. Is that what's going on? So we should be getting both sides of the story and then finding out if there's a violation or if this is not a violation.
So here's my question.
Okay.
If I'm in a public space and I have a constitutional right to film in a public space and the supervisor there says, I want him kicked out of here because he's filming in a public space and I don't like it. I want him out of here. He's filming and I don't like it. Okay, are you going to do what they say, or are you going to say, ma'am, we can't kick him off of this property for filming. He has a constitutional right to film.
It's kind of the way the laws are written.
Are you going to protect our rights, is what I'm saying. Nobody's protecting our rights, sir.
Right. Well, we have to go within the guidelines of those rights as well. So if you are on the curb and you are filming, as long as you're not following the, obviously, like voyeurism laws of filming, I mean, just saying that there are state statutes that cover certain things, but if you are on the public roadway and you're videoing and they say, hey, I don't want that person there, I don't want them videoing, I would come to you and say, hey, just let you know this happened, this is the person that said it, and I would tell the other person, they have every legal right to stand there and videotape.
You hear that, Kootenai County Sheriff's Office? You need to get this man right here promoted.
However, the cop showed his true colors when the man hit him with a third question. The man painted a scenario where he's filming in public and accidentally captures a woman who doesn't want to be filmed. The woman calls the cops, and this particular cop shows up. The man, knowing the cop swore to protect citizens, expected a certain response. But instead of a clear answer, the cop dodged the question. He started talking about reacting based on the circumstances and mentioned something about private property and the right to ask someone to leave if they're trespassing. Why complicate a straightforward question, sir? The man made it clear that they were in public, so why bring up private property at all? When the man reiterated that the incident was on public property, the cop responded in a rather uninterested way, saying it was the man's right to film and he wouldn't interfere. I'm starting to think this is just another facade. Then the man threw another curveball, asking how the cop would react if he was filmed while fasting. Oddly, the cop made things complicated again. This time he said it depends on who owns the building. But really, who owns the post office but the government? Since it has public access, filming in the lobby should be as permissible as filming in a park. The cop's evasive answers and reluctance to give straightforward responses reveal a hesitation to commit to protecting the rights clearly outlined for public filming. This interaction highlights a potential gap in understanding or willingness to uphold the law as it stands, which can be frustrating for citizens who are simply exercising their rights.
What's your radio number, please, Mr. Johnson?
2343.
Pardon me?
2343.
2343. Can I ask you a couple questions real quick? Why is it that the deputies and officers are a lot of times are really reluctant to say that and feel sort of like humiliated when someone asks them for their name and badge numbers and to identify themselves, yet they're going to put us in a cage if we don't?
I don't have a problem with it. I don't know why other deputies would have an issue with...
So you have no idea whatsoever?
Why the other deputies do.
Right.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with it. And I think you guys...
Well, I understand that, and you didn't, and you're acting very professional.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I appreciate that. But you honestly can say that you haven't noticed that at all with any of your
I am aware
colleagues?
that deputies do get a little, because I don't say the reasoning I don't know, and I've never actually asked them.
Okay, so have you ever heard of First Amendment auditors?
First Amendment auditors.
Auditors, yeah. Have you heard that? Have you had any instruction from your chain of command on First Amendment auditors?
Being specifically, no, not off the top of my head.
Okay, but you've heard the word.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I imagine that you have a negative opinion of First Amendment auditors. Would that be accurate?
Well, without looking at it, I don't want to say I have a negative or positive until I'm specific.
Well,
on
I would say that you
Okay.
guys have had a conversation about people photographing in public, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you know.
And we've had even training and stuff like that has came up with it.
Yeah.
And you know, to my understanding and the way I understand my training is, you guys have the legal ability to do it.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is as long as it's not affecting my safety or the safety of the person if I'm dealing with somebody else or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's where we're training. Hey, if they're over there doing it, or if you direct them and they go over there just to kind of be out of our officer safety, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah.
That's why they're training us to do that versus getting. Now I know that there has been some case law. There's also been videos that have been posted where officers are getting very defensive of videoing.
Yeah.
And what's there behind there, that's between them and their agency and what they've gone through.
Yeah.
Some of them have gotten in trouble for it. I mean, the courts have stepped into some of those and everything else.
However, the cop then made things even more complicated. He claimed that if he were called to the post office because someone was filming there, he'd first chat with the post office staff to get the scoop on what was going on and how the man was behaving. He argued that it's crucial for cops to thoroughly understand why they were called before doing anything else. After that, he said he would approach the man and hear his side of the story. Even though this cop thought he was giving the best answers, he wasn't doing his department any favors. The simple and straightforward response he should have given is that he wouldn't need to show up at the post office at all. Instead, he could just explain to the staff over the phone that the man filming wasn't doing anything illegal and that it's perfectly within his rights to film in public spaces, including the lobby of a government building like a post office. Why is this concept so hard for some cops to grasp? The man then asked another question. What if the post office supervisor wanted to kick him out for filming? We all know the right answer here, but once again, the cop complicated things. He claimed he would tell the supervisor to let the man be and allow him to do whatever he wanted, suggesting a lenient approach. Now, my question to you is he just putting on a show, acting all reasonable and by the book while on camera, and then revert to less admirable behavior once the cameras are off?
When it comes into the safety, you guys can video all day long.
So I have one question I want to get out as many as you're going to tolerate, but I want one for sure, and that is, so you know that filming in public is a constitutionally protected activity, right?
Right.
So if I'm in a public space where I have a constitutional right to film, and the person say a supervisor that's supervising over that public space doesn't like her picture taken, doesn't like what I'm doing, and she calls the sheriff's office and says, I want these people off of my property. Okay, so you've taken an oath to protect my rights, right? So my question is, when you arrive there, are you going to go up to the supervisor and ask what they want done, or are you going to make sure that my rights are protected?
Well, we're going to find out what the totality of the circumstances are.
I'm filming in public.
Are you on private property or not? Understand what I'm saying? If you, because you have the right to trespass people from your private property. If you're on public property, then yeah, you can do it, as long as obviously you don't fall within.
What if you're at a post office? Would you consider that private property?
What's that?
A post office.
A post office? Within the parking lot and the confines of that building, depending on which building it is, it usually is private property.
Okay, so that's the way
I understand that there's tax base that comes into it. Does it now become public property because it's a tax base item or not?
And so
you're getting into federal stuff,
right? So, but this opinion that you have, the reason that you're going to do it that way is because that's the way you were trained, correct?
Well, here's the question: is that who actually owns the building?
Exactly.
So I'm guessing this is related to a case that happened up in Hayden.
Well, it's happening everywhere.
Okay.
It's happening everywhere.
And so, who is the owner of that property?
Right.
Is it the post office that owns that?
When a female cop saw a man filming in front of the police station, she walked up to him and straight up told him she didn't want to be filmed and that he should turn off his camera. But here's the thing. If she didn't want to be on camera, she could have just stayed away. Instead, she chose to approach him, getting closer than 6 feet, which completely ignores the rule meant to keep a safe distance so people don't feel threatened by cops. The man tried to hint that she should back off, hoping she'd get the message and give him some space. But she didn't let up. She even started accusing him of trespassing, which just showed she didn't really grasp what trespassing means. Trespassing involves being on private property without permission, but they were clearly on public ground. Soon enough, her colleagues joined her, and it turned out none of them seemed to understand the difference between private and public property either.
Please turn your camera off. I don't want to be filmed. Can I help you, sir? Can I ask where you're here from? Because you are trespassing and it's a violation of HIPAA. But I'm trying to do our best to protect our patients right now.
Okay, now do you want me to educate you since you spouted off?
Go for it.
First of all, the onus is on you to protect any patient's privacy per HIPAA. You should be familiar with that. Public property, I can be here, I can film. You don't come out here and give me false, fake directives.
We'll talk to the
go on back inside and do your job.
Sir.
Yeah, hey, I had it ordered set for 7, and I'm going to be running about an hour behind. Don't touch me.
Sir, Lance,
Can I have them come at 8 at
please?
Clemens?
Sir, can you hang up the phone? Can you talk to me?
All right, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Bye-bye.
Sir, can you tell me what's going on right now?
What's your name and badge number?
Officer Bradbury?
Your name and badge number?
Hung.
Pardon me?
Hung.
What's your badge number?
What can we help you out
What's
with?
your badge number?
141.
Okay, thank you.
What can we help you out with today, sir?
You can't.
Well, we got a call.
I don't care. You got a call, so what?
Okay. This is private property.
No, it ain't. This is public property right here. Sparrow does not own this.
Sears does.
Yeah, but they haven't trespassed me, and they didn't call you. They called you. And you can't solicit a trespass from Sears.
They're using the building.
They're using that building, not this building.
This is all one place. You have something,
listen.
sir?
All right.
They all echoed the trespassing claim. One of them even tried to beef up their approach by saying they got a call about a man doing something wrong. But that story didn't hold up. If it were true, she would have mentioned it right from the start. It seemed more like she just saw the man filming and decided to confront him, maybe to assert some authority. Things escalated when another female cop, walking behind the man, actually hit him, which could definitely be grounds for a battery charge. What was she thinking? That kind of physical contact wasn't necessary and could easily make someone feel threatened or attacked.
Just when I thought Lansing Police Department was a good department, now you guys want to go f*** it all up and be tyrants. I have the right to be here. I'm in public. I'm filming in public. I'm working on this story. I'm an investigative journalist, gathering content for a story for matters of public interest. So, that's all you need to know. Now you can go. You're dismissed. Don't sneak up behind me, please, and don't touch me again. That's simple battery.
I didn't touch you.
Well, she did. She walked up behind me and touched me. That's simple battery. That you do not have the right to walk up and touch the public. I don't have to. I don't have to. I'm not required to. I don't have to answer any of your questions. I have not committed a crime, nor do you suspect me of a crime or suspect me of going to commit a crime. Okay? So let's get that out there right now. I'm not threatening anybody. I have it all on video. So you can go talk to the complaining party, and then you guys can vamoose and go back to more important things in Lansing besides a guy with a camera. Yes? Are we in agreement? No? Okay. We have 2 more officers on scene now. Need 4 guys for 1 guy with a camera?
As if 3 cops weren't enough to stir things up, a bunch more showed up, this time male cops. It almost seemed like they hoped their numbers would intimidate the man and make him bolt, but that didn't happen. One of the cops walked up to the man really aggressively, saying they had some sort of issue with him. Of course, this cop also forgot about keeping a safe distance until the man himself reminded him to back off. This cop then claimed they got a call about a man filming a medical building. But filming from a public space isn't a crime, and the man made sure he highlighted that to them. He reminded them that he has the right to record anything he can see with his own eyes. However, this cop made a blunder on camera by admitting that just because the man can record anything he sees doesn't mean he should. But actually, that's exactly what it means. The man is an adult. He doesn't need cops telling him what he can and cannot do. To add to the confusion, the man had been in the exact same spot the day before, and at that time, the cops told him he could film as much as he wanted. So it really seemed dependent on which cops showed up on the scene.
Here comes the thugs, gentlemen.
We got a request.
Name and badge number?
My name is right here for you. It's Officer Briggs.
Give me
my
6
badge
feet,
number
please. Give me 6 feet.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Officer Briggs. My badge number is 112 right here for you.
Okay. And
So-
you, sir?
What's that?
Name and badge number? You ain't even have a name tag on.
No, not yet. We'll give it to you.
What is it?
20.
The name?
Salinas.
Salinas. And what? Briggs?
Yes, sir.
Pung? And what? Who are you?
Bradbury?
Bradbury?
Yeah, so the reason I'm having contact with you, somebody called because they were concerned that you were filming a medical facility.
Yep.
I guess.
Is that a crime?
Well, we're trying to figure it out. Our concern, though, is that.
Let me help you. It's not.
So, would you be comfortable walking into Sparrow and filming an ER?
Yes.
You'd be comfortable doing that?
Yes.
Well, why would that
The
be?
onus is on them to create privacy for HIPAA, not me. I can video anything my eyes can see from public, and you cannot trespass it.
I am certainly not trying to make this into an argument.
I'm not either. I want our police department to be aware of what my rights are as an independent journalist, an investigative journalist.
You're right to do that. I guess. Well, no. So, like, we have a saying in our profession: just because you can, does that mean that you should? Right.
In some cases, yes.
You can exercise your First Amendment.
In some cases, yes.
Denying you have a First Amendment right to film. Just because you can film somebody getting a medical procedure, does that mean that you should?
Now let me bring you up to speed. Yesterday I was here.
Yeah. Okay.
2 people came out, told me I couldn't record.
Step in the shade.
Absolutely. 2 people came out, told me I could not record.
Okay.
So I shut them down, sent them back in.
Yeah.
And then they brought in Sparrow Police Authority.
Yeah.
He pulled up. First thing out of his mouth, you're okay doing what you're doing right where you are, as long as you don't step off the sidewalk, you're good.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I know. I already know. I do my research before I come.
Yeah.
And then he tried to give me directives, and I'm like, yeah, don't run with scissors, don't eat yellow snow. I'm a grown-ass man, 45 years old. I can take care of myself. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do. And I told him to kick rocks. He left. But what really upset me was right before he showed up, I watched them carry bags of their medical waste, their gloves, their gowns, their masks, right to that dumpster right there. They're doing COVID tests. I used to be a tattoo artist. I'm bloodborne pathogen certified. When you take bloody gloves and you stick them in a biohazard waste disposal bag, nobody knows what's in it. Somebody could get infected with whatever's in there. Hepatitis C is the worst. Stays on the surface for up to 2 weeks. Okay? So nobody really knows how long COVID is staying on a surface, according to all of the science, supposedly. So why are they disposing of gloves, gowns, masks that could be contaminated with COVID, hepatitis, AIDS, and God knows what else, into a non-medical waste dumpster?
But these cops seem to have learned their lesson, at least a bit, enough to make sure no one could overhear their discussions. The man, a bit ironically, told them to wrap it up because he needed to head home. Basically, he was hinting that not everyone has all the time in the world to stand around like these cops did. After their talk, a female cop came over to the man and told him that since she had given him her name and badge number, she thought it was only fair that he should now give her his name and date of birth. She acted as if she had done him a huge favor, one that he should repay. She even suggested that most people would just cooperate with the police in this situation. But really, that just shows they don't understand their own civil rights. How can people expect the police to protect their civil rights if they don't stand up for them themselves? Then she tried to make the man feel guilty because she was there and he didn't want to chat. But she seemed to forget that she wasn't there for him. He hadn't called her. Moreover, he didn't even want to talk to her in the first place. So her job was really to deal with whoever had called her out there, if anyone actually called her at all. It wouldn't be a surprise if the cops had just made up the whole story as an excuse to confront the man. They've done it before. In conclusion, people have the right to keep their personal information private, and offering one's badge number doesn't automatically entitle a cop to receive personal details in return. Cops should respect that boundary and focus on de-escalating situations rather than trying to extract information that isn't legally required. How can training and awareness be improved to ensure these cops understand and respect these boundaries?
But hopefully we can make it quick. I got to be home by 8.
Hi, sir. All right, so you did obtain my name and badge number.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll plan even fairer grounds.
No, ma'am.
Your name, please?
No, ma'am. You're a public servant. You're required to give your name and badge number.
and
I'm not.
We're investigating a complaint.
I still don't have to give you my name and any information, and I'm not going to. So you can quit trying. call me good citizen.
Good citizen. That
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Most time people want to cooperate when they're in that situation.
But I don't have to. I haven't committed a crime. You don't suspect me of committing a crime. You don't think I'm going to commit a crime.
At this point, actually, what I've been informed, and we're looking for the documentation, is that you're trespassing.
Well, then why did Sparrow Police Authority pull right here yesterday and tell me as long as I don't step off this sidewalk, I'm perfectly fine to do what I'm doing?
You know,
okay.
That's a great question.
Because I've got that on video as well.
Why they're giving me different information today, I am not sure.
Okay.
So
well, from my understanding, Sears owns this and that, but they are leasing that part, but not this part. Ergo, Sears has to be the one to trespass me, and you cannot solicit a trespass from Sears.
I'm aware of the trespass law.
Okay.
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 I am looking into what
I'm just letting you know I'm aware as well.
Okay. I am looking into what I've been told. I don't want to argue with you.
I don't either. I just want to be left alone, and I want you, as an officer who swore to protect and uphold the Constitution, to do just that right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, you want to talk a lot, but you never want to listen.
I don't have to. I don't have to.
But I am here as a public servant.
But you're here for them. But you're here for them, not me. I didn't call you.
I'm here on both sides to make sure.
No, I didn't call you. I didn't want any interaction with you. I didn't want any interaction with you.
And you know, this is where I was called to today.
Well, you was called over to there, not here.
Okay, and you are the person that they called about.
Okay, and you've determined that I'm not committing a crime.
I haven't
determined
that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. You just keep doing what you're doing then.
All right.
And you go see if you can. You go see if you can get that information to get me trespassed.
When we get that documentation, we'll act upon it. Okay?
Absolutely. Well, you have to give me a warning and an opportunity to leave first. Okay. All right. Good deal.
At the very end, these corrupt cops who messed with the wrong person got exposed on camera, showing everyone their poor approach and behavior. However, they pretended like nothing was wrong, even after a potential battery charge came into play. Before he left, the man made sure to remind them about the incident where one of the female officers had grabbed him from behind. Initially, this officer had denied it ever happened, but now she was backpedaling, claiming it was an accident. The man decided it was time to head out, and the cops seemed pretty pleased with themselves, thinking they had managed to drive him away. One of the female cops even thanked him for being reasonable and following their orders as he was leaving. They seemed to think they could bully him into compliance, and when he finally decided to leave on his own terms, they took it as a victory. But he wasn't about to let her have the last word. He made it clear that he wasn't leaving because of what she said, but because it was late, and he had spent too much time there already. He also let her know he'd be back the next day.
How have I offended you in any way?
Pardon me?
How have I offended you?
The way you guys approached me.
I didn't approach you.
You didn't? I don't know who touched me. I wasn't really looking, but somebody touched me. I was just assuming you were both standing there when I turned around.
And I was, and I do apologize if I just said you weren't responding or anything. So I just, I just want to make sure you know.
No, that's fine.
So.
Tell them that. I'll be back.
Excellent.
So.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm not leaving for you. I'm leaving for my own purposes. Trust me. Huh?
I said I appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I just to know I'm not doing it for you or for them.
No problem. Whatever the reason may be.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I almost forgot it. That's what I want to hear.
Bye. Thank you.
Yep, see you guys. You can let them know I'll be back, and they should probably have their signs up before then, or I'm going to be in the same place.
Excellent. We will definitely be prepared for that.
All right.